This show is brought to you by Victor Naraki Realtor, experienced real estate agent serving Disney and the greater Orlando area of celebratingflorida.com. Have you ever dreamed of living where the magic happens? Seeing fireworks from your backyard, or being able to make a quick drive to dine in the glow of the castle, or just to stroll the World Showcase? Victor Naraki has made that dream come true for himself and others. One of the biggest decisions you'll make when considering a move is selecting a realtor who can successfully match you with the right home in the right location at the right price. If you're looking to buy or sell in the Orlando area, here's why Victor is the realtor you'll want in your corner. Victor knows the Disney area like the back of his house, where he views and live casts fireworks nightly. Victor's buyers and sellers recognize he has a passion for life as he approaches each day with enthusiasm and brings that joy to his job. By creating a free, no-obligation account on his website, celebratingflorida.com, you'll unlock the website's full potential and be able to enter specific criteria, save listings, and browse new properties sent to your email. Is it time to follow your dream? Victor is looking forward to helping you discover the real estate opportunities that are right for you in this beautiful and fun-filled part of Florida. Visit celebratingflorida.com today or view Victor's view at victorsvista.com and let Victor know the Solo Show sent you.
My goodness, you're all staring at us. We better start the show rolling.
Broadcasting from room A113 here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, in the center of North America, on this little planet we call Earth, this is the Solo Show. On this edition, Stan welcomes Ray Kastner to the guest host chair, and they discuss Disney Plus. Is it everything they were hoping for? Listen to find out. So now, please Hey Stan, how did Minnie save Mickey from drowning? Mouse-to-mouse resuscitation. Oh well, back to making edible mouse ears. Here's your host, Stan Solo.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Solo Show. I am here with a very special guest. His name is Ray. Oh man, I should have wrote it down. I just can't even read it. Is it Kastner?
Kastner.
I think I was pretty close.
Yeah.
Ray Kastner. One of these days, I had last week Eric Walker. How great was that?
Oh, it was easy.
That was really easy. So, Ray, welcome to the co-host chair.
Well, thank you.
And how are you today, my friend?
I'm fine.
Oh, that's great. Now, Ray, you and I met at D23 Expo at a WDW Radio Meet of the Month group thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We chatted a bunch of times online, in Loon and then on Disney Magic Hour, but we've never actually met until then. So that was nice.
It was really nice. And I don't know what was going on in my head, and I don't know what was going on in Ray's head. Definitely I don't know what was going on in Ray's head. But neither one of us took a selfie. I always take a selfie with whoever I'm with. I don't know how that's happened.
I don't know how that happened either. When you and I were talking, do you have a picture of us? Let me check. Nope.
So you know what, Ray? That only means one thing. We have to meet up again because we got to get that selfie yet.
That's true.
We don't have that selfie. So we have a topic today. It's kind of it's an interesting topic, I think. Disney Plus was it 3 months after the fact. What we like about it, what we don't like about it, what we're looking forward to that's coming out. What else are we going to talk about there, Ray?
That's pretty much it. Our thoughts of it, and what we've been watching, other than some maybe the obvious stuff, and like I don't know, maybe one show.
Yeah, no kidding, the best show ever.
And then
also, go ahead.
And then I don't know. I've got maybe things that we might want to watch, or like what we have on our watch list. I have a bunch of stuff on my watch list. So
everyone get out your pens and papers and pencils and crayons, and you get your list ready because Ray's going to tell us what to watch because he's ready to go. I'd like to talk a little bit about the difference between Canada and U.S. And how that worked. And I'd like to also about like the UK. They don't get theirs until another month from now, which is hard to believe. It's like 4 months after the fact.
Yeah.
Before the UK is able to get it, and very few countries right now are even able to get Disney Plus as we're recording this.
I think it's 5. Well, it's U.S., Canada, Australia, New Zealand. And then Puerto Rico, which is part of the U.S. But Yeah.
In the Netherlands, I think.
Netherlands, right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
They were the first to get it.
Yeah.
The Netherlands, because they were the test country, as it were. Man, they call Disney. I will just use this country as a test.
But then they didn't even get everything.
Yeah, no. Well, it only stood to reason. So yeah, so the way it worked for them was they got it about a month before anyone else in the world did, and because they did that, they didn't get any of the original content. They got all the content that was released day one, except for like the Mandalorian, the Lady and the Tramp, the Noel, like all the Disney Plus specials. They were not included in that testing, which makes sense because it would get leaked out right away. I mean, the world is very small now with the internet. So. But it's a smaller country, smaller population, and their internet is crazy fast. Apparently, there is what I hear is that they wanted a test in a country that was known for their high speed internet, and I guess they also don't have a lot of restrictions as far as copyright issues or other streaming services showing Disney movies. So that was good for them. I don't understand how like the Netflix deal. I guess because the U.S. is so big, they just didn't show any of the movies on Disney Plus day one that were still on Netflix.
Right. Probably. I think they had licensing agreements that Netflix has got exclusive to it. Right. So that would have been my guess.
Yeah, and it's probably like that in every country that they have different, like not just Netflix, but other streaming services that have exclusive rights for certain Disney movies. And it would probably just be too complicated for them to have different streaming services. I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'm thinking. What do you think?
Now, did you have any problems on day one when it launched? I didn't have any. I was lucky. I didn't have any problems. I mean, any of the problems that people were complaining about.
Yeah, not a one. No, I watched Mandalorian. I got up like at 2 a.m. and I watched Mandalorian on my iPad. Mind you, I don't think there's that many people at 2 a.m. watching it, but I got up very early and I watched Mandalorian first thing on my iPad. What was the first thing you watched?
I think it was The Mandalorian, but I didn't watch it until I was working. I worked third shift, so I was working when it went live. All I did was I got on my phone to make sure it went live. Mm-hmm. I know they were talking of going live at 5 o'clock in the morning our time, but all of a sudden at 3 o'clock in the morning it was live, and I'm going, great, it's live. But I didn't really watch anything because I didn't have the time to watch it. So I waited, and I think that was a Thursday. I think the next Friday I watched stuff. So I waited a day before I watched anything. But I made sure on all my devices on the computer and everything that it all worked. And then the funny thing was our TV was going on the fritz. And so
you're the second person I heard that from.
Well, no, ours was going, and the TV that we had wouldn't have been able to get Disney Plus anyway. So when we went to go buy a TV, it was like the sales guy is going like, "So what can I help you with?" I says, "I'm only looking for 2 TVs. It's got to get Disney Plus. I'm only looking for an LG or a Samsung. That's all I'm looking for. I don't care what else you've got. Don't show me anything else. I only want those because I want it so it's Disney Plus compatible." He says, "Okay." And
I have an LG TV, and I'm not able to watch Disney Plus on it.
Too old.
It's an LG Smart TV, but I guess it's too old. I thought maybe because I was in Canada. I don't know. But then I went on. A lot of people were saying, I guess that this TV is too old. And it's not that old. It's a fairly new TV. But
I was watching it on my laptop until we got the TV. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as it was up, it was like, I was even researching on, they were even telling me on Samsung, if you want Disney Plus, you got to do this, you got to do that. I basically went there. The app was there. I turned the TV on, set it all up. The app was there, turned it on. And I'm like, oh, didn't have to do anything. That was easy.
Well, I have an Amazon stick on the TV, our main TV that we watch. So I got it no problem on that right away. And meanwhile, I thought, because originally they didn't say it was going to be on Amazon Prime. The Amazon stick wasn't going to work. So I went ahead and ordered a Roku stick ahead of time because it was saying that it wasn't going to work on the Amazon stick. So I ordered a Roku stick. And then the day after I ordered it, and it was going to come like a following day because it's 2-day delivery, they announced that it was going to be available on Amazon. I was like, oh, thanks. So I got an Amazon stick and I got a Roku stick. So I haven't even watched it at all on the TV that's in the basement, which is actually a better TV, the newer one. But I really like the Roku stick I like that a lot. I have YouTube on there and Netflix and Amazon Prime is on there, I think. But anyways, So I ended up not only having, I didn't have to buy a new TV, but I bought another stick that but
Yeah, we did it on Black Friday. I mean, we went to Best Buy and got a Black Friday price on the TV before Black Friday, so I didn't have to go there on Black Friday and saved a lot of money on this TV.
Are you friends with the guy that?
No, they were running Black Friday prices like on some items like on Monday.
Oh, okay.
And so I just went in there and I'm going like, we had the price on there, and then we went home and I'm going like, okay, well, then I realized after we got home that the price they were showing us was the Black Friday price. So we just went back to the store and picked it up.
Oh, nice. No kidding. That was the other thing too. Like you said how it was supposed to come out at 5 a.m. It was never really announced. They gave the day. And I don't think at time was ever announced. A lot of people, like the internet was buzzing saying it was going to start at 5 a.m. Some people were saying it's going to start at midnight.
Yeah.
So when I tried it at 2 in the morning and it was there, I was kind of surprised that it was there already. So I went, well, I guess I'll watch it. It's working.
Well, it was so crazy that even if you were watching it on something like an iPad or your phone, you couldn't even download the app until it went live. So it's like you're trying to download the app and so I'm sitting on my phone downloading. I'm going like, oh, it lets me download the app. Maybe it's going live. That's
what happened. That's exactly what happened because I was on my iPad, still in bed, and I remember I was like, wow, the app's there. So I downloaded the app, and I signed in and all that, and I couldn't. I'm trying to think. I had to create my password and all that day. I couldn't do it ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah. So I go, The Mandalorian's up. So I went and got my headphones, and I kind of woke my wife up, and she says, what are you doing? I said, oh, I'm watching Star Wars. So I was telling this to a friend of mine, and she said, I bet you that wasn't the first time that you woke your wife up at 2 in the morning and explained to her that you're just watching Star Wars.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably. No, it's not. No, it's not the first time I woke her up at 2 in the morning and just said, oh, I'm watching Star Wars.
Well, even when we were even at Disney Plus, I was so used to like the Netflix model where you buy a year, but you get billed monthly. And so because in the U.S. we could get the 3-year thing, and I pulled somebody aside because I'm going like, now is this price for 3 years? Am I paying that now, or is that what the price is going to be? And you're billing me monthly? He says, no, you're buying it now. I go, oh, okay.
So you got the D23 Expo pricing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you bought that at Expo and you paid for it at Expo?
Yes.
Okay. So you got the pin?
Yes. Got it. Yeah, I got the pin. Yeah. So I paid for it in August, and it didn't go live for another 3 months.
Yeah. I know. I tried to subscribe to it in August, and I said, "Well, I'm in Canada," and they said, "Well, yeah, no, you can't. You have to wait till you're in Canada." And I said, "But I will be getting it as soon as I can. Like, I'm not going to not get it." So they said, "Okay," and they gave me a pin. I said, "I'd like to get a pin." So then I was waiting for a friend who was signing up, and this lady kind of comes up to me, "Oh, are you going to sign up?" And I explained to her, "Oh, no, I'm from Canada." And she goes, "Oh, here, you can have a pin anyways." I said, "No, I already got one." I showed her. Another lady gave me the pin, but I could have got 2 pins.
Yeah.
Heck, there was like 20 employees walking around there getting people to sign. I could have got like 20 pins if I really wanted to.
Oh yeah.
But I was honest. So the first thing you watched was Mandalorian as well?
Yeah.
Cool. That's the right thing to watch time.
Yeah. That thing set them off. I mean, that's been the big deal for them.
And I think that's kind of saving Star Wars right now. What do you think?
Oh yeah, because it's gotten people past anybody's thoughts on at least the last 2 movies. Because I mean, I thought the Last Jedi was pretty good. I ranked that movie pretty high.
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker.
The frustration in your voice.
The Rise of Skywalker. Okay, I've heard somebody say this. I like the movie. I don't love it. I have I have issues with the story. But The Mandalorian is like, okay, everybody goes, that's fine. Okay, well, let's move on to The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian is phenomenal. It's my favorite TV show of all time. Easily, it's my favorite TV show of all time. I think that used to have been Lost. I was a big Lost fan as well. But yeah, Mandalorian is hitting it out of the park. I can hardly wait for it to come back. What other things have you been soaking up since it came on?
Well, I watched the Imagineering documentary series. That was so good. I mean, when they announced it, I'm going like, okay, it'll just be an inside look at Disney, and it'll be kind of nice. And then when I watched the first episode, it was just they went so deep into stuff, and it was just so nice seeing all these people, all these Imagineers, especially ones that have passed on, and it was just so good, and it just kept getting better and better. And then it got to the 8th episode, or whatever the last one was, and that was it. And we're going like, that's it? There's no more? Are you going to do another one? Is there going to be more?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that was a amazing series as well.
Then I've watched the Jeff Goldblum series. The Jeff Goldblum. That one I thought would be funny, and that's another one that is just, to me, hit it out of the park. He's just so goofy and quirky that no matter what he looks at, it's just, you're sitting there, you're entertained. You're going like, because he talks about stuff that even if you don't care that much about, that he just makes it so funny. I mean, the sneaker episode was just hilarious, and
the blue jean one.
Yeah, the blue jean one.
The Jeff Goldblum's, I don't know. I maybe I had my hopes too high for that series. I mean, I like it and I watched them all, but I'm kind of like, why do I keep watching these? It's sort of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I keep like wanting more from them, I guess. I don't know.
Then I watched the Forky Has a Question.
Those are
hilarious. That one. That's the other thing the only complaint I would have against the series, other than The Mandalorian, because we all knew it was going to be 8 episodes. The other ones, it's like, you just stopped and you're going like, you go to the next week and it was, there's not another one. Oh, it must be done.
Yeah. What do you think about that coming out weekly versus like the Netflix style of things where it comes out all at once?
Like it. I like it only because I can't sit and binge watch anything more than even with Netflix. When I watch something, I'm watching like maybe 1 or maybe 3 shows tops in a row, and then I just don't have the time to sit there for 6 hours and watch it all at once. I just can't.
Yeah,
I don't have the time, so I'm. A series that might be 10 episodes is taking me 3 or 4 days to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I can sit and binge watch a series if it's good enough, but I really am enjoying it. I really liked it coming out weekly. And the whole week I was like waiting for the next, like, is it Friday yet? Is it Friday yet? And I'd get up first thing Friday morning. And it reminded me of like being a kid getting up for Saturday morning cartoons. I was like waiting Friday morning to watch Mandalorian before I went to work.
And everybody's talking about each episode, as opposed to like with Netflix, the Netflix model. You never know when anybody's watching the entire thing or done watching it. So it's like you can't. I've heard a lot of people say this. Like you can't. You got to be careful what you talk about on, say, like Stranger Things, because you don't know where everybody is in the series. The Mandalorian, you knew where everybody was. You knew within a few days of Friday, everybody's watched that episode.
Yeah. And I think the rule of thumb, at least in my lunchroom at work, it was by Monday we could talk about it, because if you didn't watch it over the weekend, then that's on you. It's sort of the And I would ask people ahead of time, hey, did you catch the new Mandalorian yet? And we would chat about it. And now that's happening with Clone Wars. I wasn't able to watch Clone Wars. The chapter 7 just came out. So a guy I work with, he saw it right away first thing in the morning, and I didn't. So he was like, did you watch it? I said, no, I didn't get a chance. He goes, oh, you got to watch it so we can talk about it. Then the next day I went in, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. He goes, did you watch it yet? And I said, no, I haven't. I haven't had a chance. I'm very busy. And then it's finally, I think it was today, we were recording on Monday. I believe it came out Friday.
Yes.
So we were able to talk about it today because I was able to watch it yesterday. And it's only a half hour. I mean, it's not a huge commitment, but did you catch that Clone Wars?
Oh,
wow, what a good episode.
It reminded me how much I liked it when it was. I didn't watch it when it came on the first time, so I was watching it on Netflix and just binging through all 6 seasons of it, and of course it took me a while. And then, but oh god, it's so good.
Yeah. No, I watched.
I think Rebels might be better, but it's still good. I remember now how much I missed it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's good.
Have you watched the shorts? Any of the short things that they've got? They've got Forces of Destiny, which is like a bunch of shorts. It's like
they're like 5 seconds, 15 seconds. Those
are blips.
Okay.
The Forces of Destiny, I think, is like 4 minutes.
Okay, I'm trying to remember now. Okay, so that's the one like
That one's all over the place. I mean, it goes.
Yeah, and it kind of fills in little things in the movies, sort of.
Right, and they're all over. They do stuff from like in the era time of the sequel trilogy. They do ones of. They got Princess Leia on some. They have ones where they're going back to with Anakin Skywalker, which like from Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. So they're covering everything. So they're kind of all over the place. And
I watched those when they first came out. They first came out on YouTube about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I watched them then when they came out. They came out weekly, I think, or two a week or something like that. But I haven't watched them since. I didn't even know they were on Disney Plus.
I just stumbled upon them last week or so. I found some. I think I was rewatching The Mandalorian all the way through, and when I got done, it popped up on suggestions. And I'm going like, oh, I haven't seen.
What is this? Oh, that's cool.
The other ones, everybody's different. A lot of people are going back and watching. The old movies. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched any of the old full-length movies. I've gone back and I'm watching a lot of the Mickey shorts. Okay. Donald Pluto shorts and those. And then I watched. I never watched the Disney nature movies when they first came out, so I got caught up on those. And another original one that they've got that I kind of got into was Encore.
I didn't watch any of those at all. Is that good?
It depends. Some people. I'm not even into theater, but I found it interesting. It's kind of Disney's version of a reality show in that it goes back and it takes people that did high school musicals and then does a reunion performance. They get 5, 6 or so people, combine it with a professional extras, and then they give them like 5 days to redo their show that they did in high school. I went to the at D23 Expo. I went to the Disney Plus panel, and they talked about it, and I kind of went, "Wow, this is going to be boring." So I never watched it on Disney Plus. I should probably check it out. I watched one, and I'm going like, "Okay, this is interesting enough that I'll watch it again."
So is each week a different high school, or is it the same?
No, it's a different group. And some of these ones, they haven't done the show for like 20 years. And some of them are like 10 years. And so they're kind of all over this. They actually did a high school in Wisconsin here. So that was kind of interesting. So
yeah, it's always cool to see your home state or town or whatever being represented. Unless you're from New York, then it's always represented.
Yeah. I've been doing that.
I've been going back and watching quite a few of the older movies, actually. I went back and watched all the old, what's his name? I can never remember his name. The guy with the coonskin hat.
Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett, yeah. I went back and watched the old Davy Crockett's, and I've been watching a lot of the ones like the World's Strongest Man and the Computer to Work Tennis Shoes, all like the live action movies that came out in the early 70s up to pretty much in the 70s, 60s. I've been watching a lot of those. And I did think I was going to watch an awful lot of National Geographic, and I haven't. I've watched like 2, I think, shows on the National Geographic.
I've watched a couple of those. And some, I've got queued up a bunch of Silly Symphonies, and I found I think, well, I don't know how many of them, but I found not Disney Nature, the ones that Walt did. I'm blanking on the name.
Welcome to my world.
The
Real Life Adventures. Or
Real Life Adventures. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Real Life Adventures.
I've been meaning to catch those, and I haven't had a chance yet either. I still got a bunch of Christmas shows on my DVR. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, that stuff that got wiped out when our DVR took a crapper, and so everything that was saved on there got erased. So we had to get it replaced, and the whole thing just died. We turned it on one day, and it didn't turn on. And
what are you doing over there? You guys have to get a new TV. You have to get a new DVR.
Well, yeah, I don't know. The cable DVR box had been around for a while, and we've never been able to get it down, the DVR part of it down to a point where we could get a new one, because we knew it would erase everything, and because we just can't keep up the shows that we're recording. And then when it died, it's like, oh well, I guess we solved that problem.
So Ray, were you big on collecting Blu-rays or DVDs, or are you still, or were you?
Yeah, I've got a lot of. We've got that. That's a lot of the movies. Any of the current movies, I haven't really watched too many of those because I've got them on. I've got physical copies of them all. Right. So I could watch them anytime I want. I could have watched anytime. What was that?
Are you going to continue buying the Blu-rays now that you have Disney Plus?
Probably, because I just like having physical copies of it.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I would buy every.
I guess I'll
Blu-ray
see how long. I guess I'll see how long I don't know. I just wonder how long they're going to keep this stuff on there.
That's the question. That's just it. But I would buy every Disney Blu-ray that came out, even if I saw it in the theater opening weekend. I would
sometimes 2 and 3 times over, depending on whether it's a new edition.
Yeah. But like the live action Beauty and the Beast, I'm not going to buy that one on Blu-ray. I don't think, because I'll watch it on Disney Plus when it comes out.
Right.
You know what I mean? The live action Lion King.
Yeah, there's some movies that are on Disney Plus now that I didn't go see in the theater, like Dumbo or
Yeah. So are you going to buy Dumbo on Blu-ray?
No, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it on Disney Plus because I'm not. Well, I'm already paying for it. I'm not gonna spend the $25 on buying it for a movie for a Blu-ray that I didn't really want to spend money to go see it in the theater. It's not that I didn't have time to go see it in the theater. I just didn't want to go see it.
Well, that's just it.
Because just from everything I heard, it didn't sound like it was going to be worth the time and money to go see it.
Okay.
But I'll watch it on Disney Plus.
Like when I was a kid, I would walk a mile to the video store to rent a VHS copy of a movie and walk a mile home and watch it, and then the next day walk a mile back to that store, return it, rent or get another one, and walk a mile back home again, or take my bicycle. I guess I would take my bike, but it was about a mile. And now I'm at a point where I got to get off the couch and get the Blu-ray case and open it and put it in the machine.
We'll see how long that of getting the physical copies lasts, because I've got them in bins, and it's like, okay, now I've got to figure out which bin it's in and then dig it out.
Yeah. And that's just it. Like, and I'm like, I could just watch it on Disney Plus now. I don't have to go down.
I have these conversations with my wife. It's like, when it comes on TV, it's like, we could watch that anytime. We've got the Blu-ray. Yeah, but we've got to go look for it. I'll just watch it on TV.
That's just it. Like it's unbelievable how much the time has changed in that regard. Because it was, like I said, I used to have to walk 2 miles to watch a movie and rewind it.
Oh yeah.
And now it's like I don't even want to go and get off the couch and open up the case and put the disc inside the machine. It's such a hassle.
Yeah, it depends on whether I want to just collect the discs just to have them, or whether whether I want to keep doing that or not. Because I've kind of made the decision now. I'm just going to get the Marvel and the Star Wars ones. Okay, I'm not going to continue. I may be more selective on what we buy. As opposed to buying everything. It's like, if it's something really good and I want to have it, then for sure I'll buy it. Yeah. If it's one that we don't care that much about, it's like, oh, well, okay, we can wait. Or maybe we won't get it. We'll just wait till it's on Disney Plus. Yeah. Well, that's just it. So I'm curious to know how many people, and will the Blu-rays go the way of the Dodo Bird or the VHS tape, and they just will stop making them because people will just stop buying them. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Sales have got to be down, I would think, like right across the board on all. Not just Disney, but I think all of them with the Netflixes of the world and stuff like that, and all these different streaming services. So what's coming up on Disney Plus? Hope you did some research. Yeah. Well, Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out in August. So original programming. I think that is number one. That is number one. I mean, there's probably some other stuff, but when I looked at what was coming out, that's and there's a bunch of movies that are coming out between now and the end of the year. Because I was looking at a list a while back, and it seemed like it was like every week there was a new, not a new movie, but a movie release. Yes, coming up pretty much for all of 2020. Right. Yeah, like Black Panther comes out in a week, the 4th. Okay. Let me see. I did some Bedtime Stories comes out on the 5th. Wrinkle in Time comes out on the 25th of March. I keep trying to watch that, and I can't. I fell asleep in the theater twice. I read the book before the movie came out. I reread the book because my kids read this thing. I had forgotten the movie. I think that movie suffered from that book is all over the place. That book is, and even if the movie changed some things, but it stuck to the main premise of the book. But that book would have been a hard movie no matter who did it, no matter what they did with it. I reread the book, and then I watched the movie, and I wasn't that impressed with the book. With the movie. It was Yeah, the movie, but it was the people that complained about the movie obviously didn't read the book because the book was would have been a messed up movie no matter how they did it. It's just it's a strange book. It's just really strange. So
I tried watching it on one of the Disney cruise ships. I was on a cruise and it was airing, and so I went to go watch it, and I fell asleep. It was kind of later though, like everything was already closed. It was like the last showing of the night, and I was exhausted. And I think I fell asleep like immediately. I slept through the whole thing, and then the next day I did the same thing, and the same thing. I fell asleep like right away. So I went to see it in the theater, like on the Disney ship, 2 times, and both times I was out cold. I woke up and was like, "Oh, it's time to go down the room and go to bed." I was almost thinking I could just stay here and be the first one in the theater in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I want to see it. Finally. What else is coming up? So Winter Soldier, that one I'm really excited for.
That's the big one. A lot of the other big series, at least the Marvel stuff, doesn't. As far as I could tell, that was all that was coming out this year. Everything else is like next year. WandaVision's next year. Loki's next year. I think What If? Is that next year or is that the year after?
I think that might be the year after.
It might be in 2022.
Yeah. The Mandalorian season.
And the Mandalorian comes out in October, right?
Yeah. So that's going to be a big one. So what do you think about these people that they got the month-to-month subscription and then they
after
Mandalorian's over? Yeah, I'm going to cancel. I'm not subscribing anymore.
You know, I guess you and I are coming at it from a different thing. There is so much material there for us to watch that we can fill in the time with all this other stuff. But if you're just going in there all you want is the Mandalorian, I can understand it, but I think Disney did it partly the weekly thing. I think from what I've heard was because of the Netflix issue is that people would subscribe to Netflix, binge watch a show, and then unsubscribe.
Yeah. So exactly. Stranger Things is coming out.
They'd watch Stranger Things for a
month.
Yeah, they'd have it for a month and then cancel it. And there were a couple people that I knew that weren't going to subscribe to Disney Plus until The Mandalorian was done, so they could binge watch the entire series. And then what they did with it, I know one person that wasn't going to keep doing it and didn't want to do the weekly thing. She did that, waited till it was thing and watched it, but now she's watching other. She got hooked and now is watching other movies. So she hasn't unsubscribed. So I don't know. I guess. I can kind of understand the unsubscribing of it, but on the other part of me is like, well, what do you don't understand what you're missing by doing that. There's all this other stuff, but I have to acknowledge that people like us look at the stuff differently. We're Disney fans, and so if there's material there, we'll watch it and we'll keep watching it.
Well, that's just it. Yeah. I mean,
and other people that aren't big Disney fans, like, okay, I watched The Mandalorian. I'll wait till October and I'll re-up again in October.
Well, I remember when it first came out, somebody went on Facebook and they posted that they watched everything already and they were going to unsubscribe because there was nothing left.
Really?
And they're like, and that's just it. And someone said, "What do you mean you watched everything?" They said, "Well, I watched everything." And then it was like, well, that there's like categories that you could go into the history, like you could go into the different decades and all that. and then they're like, "Oh, it's a whole new world." That opening page when you first open it up, it has like the 12 shows. Well, they watched those 12 shows and they thought that was all there was.
My gosh!
They never clicked on.
I still have like 30-some shows and movies on my watch list. That, by the way, did you know that what you see on the watch list caps? It keeps track. You can go past. I think it keeps like maybe 40 things or something to that effect.
Oh, okay.
That it shows you. You can add more. They're there. You just can't see them on the list. So it's like it might go 40 things you can put on your watch list, and you keep putting stuff on there, but it only shows you the last 40 that you put on.
Okay.
So you have to watch other things to get to the other ones that you put on there earlier. One of my kids found that. He says, "Dad, did you know that there's a cap on the watch list? It's still there, but you just can't see them until you watch some of the other shows." And I'm going like, "Really?" And then all of a sudden I hit the wall. I'm going like, dang, he's right.
Ray has every single show in his watch list.
No, not quite, but might be getting there.
I don't think I use that feature at all. I kind of like I'll think about what do I want to watch, and I'll try to find it. I should probably use the watch list because sometimes I can't find it, and something else catches my eye instead, and I'll watch that. That's how I ended up watching The World's Strongest Man and the Cat from Outer Space and all those, because I was just looking for something else. And I go, hey, I haven't seen Cat from Outer Space in years. I'll watch that.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's kind of. I'm more of a hunter-gatherer, I guess, when it comes to the Disney Plus what to watch shows.
Looking at it from the Netflix thing, so you got your queue, and you see stuff, and it's like you don't want to. Well, part of it is like you stumble upon some things that you find, and then it's like, how am I going to be able to find it again? So maybe I should just put it in the watch list.
Oh, that's great. So, Ray, what got you into Disney? I meant to ask you that.
Well, my family took me and my brother out to Disneyland when we were on a trip to visiting all the relatives and just sightseeing the country, probably when I was 10 or 11. And then we never went again. We spent one day. I had an uncle who lived in Southern California. And we spent one day at Disneyland, one day. Okay. And I think back now and I'm going like, one day? That's all we did was one day.
Well, Disneyland was probably a lot different back then than it is today.
Yeah, and then we didn't go again. And then when my oldest was 4.5, we were looking for an idea for a vacation, and a friend of my wife's went to Disney on a fairly regular basis. She goes, "You should go to Disney World." And this was back in 1990, and we've gone either to Disneyland or Disney World at least once a year. Every year since then.
Wow.
So
since 1990, wow.
And then we joined DVC in 95.
Oh, okay.
So now it's what we do. And in fact, because of all the construction and everything going on and what we had all going on, we weren't even planning on going to the parks this year. And then when Rise of the Resistance came up, and we had a day when it got really cold, and my wife goes, we need to have a trip. We need to organize a trip. And I go, you serious? Because I was thinking about this with the Rise of the Resistance, that I'm not sure I can wait till 2021 to go. And we started planning trips, and now we're going in July.
Oh, nice.
And then now we're trying to figure out, with the expo being in 2021 and the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World being in 2021, how we're going to manage both those trips in the same year. And so it's kind of like, okay, we got to figure out how we're doing this. And my daughter's in college, so we're kind of stuck going either in the summer or when she's on winter break, because she has like a month off between Christmas and the second semester starts. It's like we either can go in January or go in the summer. And I'm trying to like, okay, how are we going to do Expo and Disney World in the same year? Not that physically we can't go. It's the summer. Yeah, it's not the physically going. It's the affording it.
Yeah, no, I hear that. That's the problem with a lot of us. It's trying to afford to go as often as we want. Well, Ray, I want to thank you for joining us today.
Oh, sure. Thank you for letting me come on.
Yeah, you're a great co-host. Let me ask the listeners. Do you still buy the Blu-rays and the DVDs since you got Disney Plus? And what were your thoughts on Disney Plus? Are you really into it? Are you thinking of canceling it? Or are you excited for what's coming? Write in the comments which you're looking forward to the most for Disney Plus. And I'm really curious to know how many people still buy Blu-rays or Disney Blu-rays in particular, since Disney Plus came out. Well, Ray, any final thoughts?
No, I'm really looking forward to next year. It's gonna be a long wait till October for the second season of Mandalorian, but I'm sure we'll find something to watch.
Well, at least I got Star Wars Celebration between now and then, so I got that to look forward to.
Yeah.
So, alrighty, Ken, take it away.
If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to join the adventure in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. If you would just like to keep the conversation going, then visit us on our Facebook page at The Solo Show. And come back for the next edition of The Solo Show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.